In this video segment, we'll review the Verify process. Verify shows the path the tool takes to cut your MasterCam part. Verify is an excellent tool for checking errors in the program before you machine the part. Over on the left in the Toolpath Manager, I have all the operations selected. There's a blue check mark on each. The first operation is a drilling operation that uses a 1/2 inch center drill. The second operation is another drilling operation using a 1/2 inch diameter drill. And the third and final operation is a contouring operation that uses a 1/4 inch diameter end mill. I'm going to move up to the toolbar and select the icon for Verify. I'm just going to slide this dialog box up. Now down at the bottom of the Verify dialog box, I'm going to select the question mark. Now this is where we can find more detailed help on Verify. So here we are in MasterCam Help on the Verify dialog box page. I'm going to move over to the second page, Field Definitions, and this is where we can find explanations of the various icons that we're going to find in the Verify dialog box window. Now I'm going to click on Simulate Tool and Holder, and as you can see we have a brief explanation of what this particular icon does. I'm going to move on up to the top and minimize this window. Now let's move over to the left. As you can see, I have Simulate Tool and Holder turned on. I'm going to move on down and I'm going to increase the quality. So displaying a better quality image can take more processing time. Now I'm going to move on down, and in the stop options I'm going to check mark stop on collision. I'm also going to check mark stop on tool change. Now moving on down a little further, I'm going to click on the Configure button. Now again in the bottom right hand corner of this dialog box, I'm going to click on the question mark, and this is where we can go to find out more information on the Verify options dialog box. And if we move over to Field Definitions, what we have here is, if I slide down, are explanations on the various options that we'll find in the Verify options dialog box. So don't forget, help is just a click away. I'm going to minimize this window. Now moving over into Verify options, if you check out initial stock size, the material size is being taken from the stock setup. Now I'm not going to change anything here. I'm just going to go down to the bottom and hit the OK button. Now moving on down, the speed at present is set very fast. I'm going to change it to midway. Now I'm going to move on up to the top and hit the Machine button. Now we have a dialog box at the bottom that's just popped up. Paused on tool change. Press the machine step or fast forward button to continue. Now the reason this has popped up, because I check marked stop on tool change. So what I've got to do is move on up and hit the Machine button. So here's the first operation, the center drilling operation, and as you can see the tool and the holder. Now the message has popped up again, paused on tool change. I'm going to move on up and hit the Machine button, and next up is the 1/2 inch diameter drill, and we're drilling these 4 holes through the part. Now paused on tool change, again I'm going to move on up and hit the Machine button. This is the third operation, and we're using a 1/4 inch diameter end mill here to rough and finish the contour. What I'm going to do is move on over to the Verify dialog box and just increase the speed. And there it is. Our part looks good. What I'm going to do now is hit the check mark. Now what I'm going to do is move into the first operation. I'm going to click on Parameters for Simple Drill, No Peck. I'm going to move into the second page, Simple Drill, No Peck. And what I'm going to do is change the retract. I'm going to change it from 0.1, which is perfect. It's 100th thou above the top of the work, but I'm going to change it to minus 0.1. So this is very bad. We've got our retract 100th thou into the part. I've made a terrible mistake here. What I'm going to do is go down and hit OK. Now, as you can see, there's a red check mark for this first operation. I've changed something. I'm going to move on up and regenerate all dirty operations. Now, I'm just going to grab hold of the insert marker and drag it down to the bottom. I'm going to move on up and select all operations and then move back into verify. I'm just going to slide the verify dialog box up. Now, as you can see in the stop options, I've got stop on collision check marked. So let's move on up now and verify this program, and we know we have a problem with it. So I'm going to hit on the machine button at the top, and as you can see, the message pops up, paused on tool chain. So I'm going to hit machine, and now we have a problem. It's got paused on collision. Now what I'm going to do is move on up and restart. I'm going to uncheck stop on collision, and now let's move up to the top, and I'm going to press machine. Now, paused on tool change, I've got to press it again, and as you know, we've got a problem with our center drilling. So let's press machine. Now, red is bad. We have a problem. Red denotes that I've moved at rapid through the part. My retract value is not above the top of the part, it's into the part. So we've got a major problem here. We'd have broken the center drill. So I'm going to pick OK. I don't want to continue. Let's go back into parameters. Now here's our retract minus 100th thou. I'm going to change it back to 0.1. So the retract, the cutter, will move down at rapid to 100th thou above the workpiece. When it's finished center drilling the hole, it will retract to 100th thou above. I'm going to pick OK, and as expected, we have a red check mark. Let's move on up and regenerate all dirty operations. I'm going to select all the operations and then move to the right and pick verify selected operations. I'm just going to slide this verify dialog box up. Now let's slow the speed down to midway, and I'm going to move on up and hit machine. I need to hit machine again, and here's our center drilling operation, and now everything looks fine. Now we've got the retract value to above the part. No more red marks. Now paused on tool change, I'm going to go up and hit the machine button, and here's our drilling. Everything looks good here. Now for the third and final operation, we're using the 1/4 inch end mill to machine the contour, and we're roughing and finishing this contour. We're not just going around it in one cut. Now I'm going to move on down, and I'm going to just increase the speed. And there's the finished part. Looks good. I'm going to move on down to the bottom and hit OK. And that completes our video on Verify. Thanks very much for watching.